All right. Hey, two happy campers. How you guys doing today?
Hey, Sarah. We're very good. Thanks for having us.
It's really great to be talking to you guys, some well seasoned travelers. Why don't you introduce yourselves and just let us know what started you on this adventurous path of travel?
Am I taking it?
Oh, good luck with the concise part. Yeah.
We bought our four-wheel camper in 2012. We still have the same one that has been so good to us for 13 years.
We picked right out of the gates.
We picked a good model and outfitted it kind of perfectly, and we have been I think we did, this is a random number, but I think we did like 700 nights in it up until about 2018. Then we did a full year in it. Then we got off the road for 2 years, and now we've been back on the road full time for like the last 5.5 years.
That's
So
incredible. So you two
well
are
over a
full
thousand nights.
time.
Yeah. And I'll add a little asterisk to that. We have a travel trailer that we will go back and forth between the two rigs for when we have different varying needs. But this year we've been in the four wheel primarily.
Mostly, yeah.
90% of the year we've been in the four wheel this year.
That's fantastic. When you do use the trailer, how does that tow and what do you use it for? Do you keep the four-wheel camper and the trailer combined?
So the camper has never left the truck since the day we got it. It's been a full-time camper the whole time. Um, Due to the lightweight nature of the four-wheel camper and having a three-quarter ton truck, we are able to tow at the same time that the camper's on the truck, and it does give us like kind of a little bit of a duality of living space that way. Primarily we use the trailer just to have more space during our working season in the summer.
I think it's really fun though that because we're full time on the road and a lot of friends and family will come meet up with us for weekends to camp, that when we're living in the trailer, we can offer the truck camper as our little guest house and people love it.
That's fantastic. Yeah, then they get to have a little piece of what you guys get to experience every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a bit of an introduction for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I understand you two have frequented Baja quite a bit over the last several years. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think we knew from for a long time, that our truck felt like the perfect Baja rig. Um,
We had been going to Arizona primarily, where Michelle is from,
for the
and
winter.
knowing that Baja was right there and just hearing all the people rave about it, we knew we had to do it eventually.
Finally, we did it in 2021, and now every winter we've spent our whole winter down there. And I think it's super fun that that's like the most four-wheel campers we ever see in one place because it's like the perfect playground for a four-wheel camper. And so we just bounce around and beach hop all winter long. People ask us where we go, and they kind of assume like we just go down and spend our winter in Cabo. And we kind of like, it's like a light bulb moment when we tell people, we're like, no, we have a truck camper and we can literally go anywhere we want. And I can't imagine having to commit to one location when we can explore the whole peninsula because there's just so much that it has to offer.
It's hard for people to believe what's available in Baja, not just the primary tourist towns, but just out in the middle of nowhere and random beaches. It's amazing.
Yeah, we
and,
love it.
And the four wheel is the perfect setup for it, for sure.
It is a really cool feeling when you feel like you're driving in the middle of nowhere in Baja and you see another four-wheel camper owner and can wave to them or see them out parked on a beach because you know they understand exactly what you're doing.
Yes, and I will add that we have formed a little road family with two other couples that are full time on the road, and what brought us together was that we all have four wheels. And I love that community aspect of four wheel camper because it's like automatically out of the gates, you kind of know you have your travel style, you share that in common. So that's been very cool.
Absolutely, that's a great point. And in your guys' words, what do you think makes the four-wheel camper, as you said, the ultimate Baja rig?
The climate in Baja just lends itself to the indoor-outdoor lifestyle of four-wheel camper living. The capabilities of a truck and a truck camper being able to get to remote beaches and not get stuck and have all the tools you need to get more off-grid really make it kind of the ideal four-wheel camper or Baja rig, I think.
We can literally get anywhere. And also, like, the clearance of having a pop top, I think is a huge deal, because we've traveled down there with friends that have a harsh-sided, huge truck camper, and we honestly felt nothing, no offense against those guys, but we felt a little held back because there were places we could get that they couldn't get to. So we could really definitely see the differences between the two types of campers.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us what about this lifestyle suits the two of you?
I'll take it back to when we were living in our first house ever. Like, we were checking all the boxes in life of, like, we had started our business and got married and bought our first house, and by societal standards it was like we were doing all the things we were supposed to do, and we were not, it wasn't as like rewarding and fulfilling.
There was a void there.
Yeah, as
still.
we thought. We were just like, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. Why? Like, all our friends were at the point in life of doing all the, like, home renovations, and they were so pumped about their new cabinets, and
Which apparently we're not into.
We were like, we're not into it at all. And so we knew travel was something we really wanted to do, and once our business was doing well enough to do our first, like, overseas trip, we went to Ireland thinking that, like, okay, we're doing well. We'll do that big, like, international trip once a year, because that's what everybody does, was kind of our...
Well, what was it, like 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days. We spent so much money, and the time just went by like that, and we were like, this isn't it either. So, and we thought to ourselves when we got back, like, we live in Colorado. We have so much at our fingertips that we've never seen before.
We had been driving back and forth just in a car between Colorado and Lake Havasu City, where Michelle's from.
In Arizona.
To visit family during holidays and stuff. And driving through Utah, we'd always see, just from the interstate, like, these amazing vistas. But it was so hard for us to stop. We had dogs, and with, like, all our photography equipment and stuff, we didn't really feel all that secure just in hotel, motel kind of things. And so when we got back from our Ireland trip, it was like, why don't we explore our home in more depth first before we get to the international travel?
And we also loved off-roading at the time. We had an SU, like a beater 4Runner that we'd always taken to the mountains.
Yeah, we've always had some kind of beater 4x4.
So all that led to the intersection of, like, we need some kind of camping rig. And we scoured the internet for weeks, and we were finding all kinds of stuff, but nothing really stuck. And then we came across a used four-wheel camper on Craigslist, and I swear to God, it was instantaneous. It was like, that's what we want.
Oh. They build what we're looking for.
Yeah, and when we first got into it, I immediately was drawn to the way it broke down life into its most simple form, how... okay, like, all that matters today is that we find a comfortable, safe place to park. We make a good meal. Like, it just broke life down to its, like, basics. And the fact that we could do that in, like, anywhere we wanted to go and in the most beautiful places across the West, like... I think we'd had the camper for a couple months before we were like, we got to do this full time. This is it. This is like, this is our dream.
What I think is kind of funny is that neither one of us were like big campers before this. Like, we did very little kind of car camping here and there, not really any backpacking. And so even when we had our camper on order, I told Michelle one day, I was like, are we sure this is what we want to do? Because this is not really like what we've done in the past. This will be a pretty big removal from like our typical travel and that kind of thing. And I think, it was just a few months in, it was like, oh, okay, it's camping, but it's not camping. Like, you have a comfortable bed, you got a furnace, a refrigerator makes a huge difference versus dealing with an ice and a cooler. Just
all the comforts you could want that you
bathroom
can literally take anywhere.
Yeah. And that's having the camper remain on our truck since the day we've gotten it. Like, even when we're not camping, like, having a place you can pull over and pop the top and take a nap on a long road trip or whatever. I mean, it's so convenient. I can't imagine not having
Yeah.
a four-wheel on a truck.
We may never be able to do airline travel because we're just used to having our home with us all the time.
Oh, we're
now.
so terrible. Like rental cars and hotels and stuff. It's like, this is not my bed.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. It's really nice to have your home with you wherever you go. I'm always forgetting things and everything's right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
Do you have any tips for people who may want to live a similar lifestyle but just, don't know how or kind of just figuring it out?
Yeah, I think just like we were saying before with the lifestyle, kind of breaking life down into its most basic forms, I think that's something that takes a little getting used to. Like, you may not have your comfortable recliner at home, but we found these really nice comfortable chairs. And
There's always
we sit in,
solution.
amazing places with amazing views without a 70-inch TV or whatever they are these days. But there's that compromise of just like being able to live more simply, like without all those creature comforts.
Yeah, I think people might assume like, I don't know how I could live without those things, but it's all a give and take, and whatever you give up, you're going to gain in some other fashion from the road that you can't get in stationary living. And I would say if I was back in my dreaming stage wanting to do this, I think that trying to get people in your life that live like this, whether it's through social media or in real life, I think is really helpful, because friends and family tend to question or criticize your dreams because it's so outside their realm of understanding. And so it's not helpful to be shot down or laughed at or questioned when you have this idea that you're so drawn to. So if you can find other people that are doing it, that really helps keep that the stoke going and on that path. Because turning it from dream into reality can be kind of gritty and not super fun. So like, you got to keep your eye on the prize and remember why you're doing it, to get, from A to B.
Well, and even I think when you are finally doing it, like giving it the time necessary to see the pros and the cons. We've always kind of described this lifestyle as higher highs and lower lows. Like, it's not all going to be pretty all the time. There are definitely lows. Can't find a campsite at night or what have you. There's things that happen, but the reasons for being out, the highs are so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I understand about your travel style, it sounds like you two are pretty spontaneous. So tell us about that and why you preferred that over planning everything to a T.
I think this style of travel has really helped my OCD personality to relax a little bit, because I tend to be more of a planner. But the fact that you don't have to make reservations, you don't have to book a flight, you don't lends itself to just driving down the road and seeing what happens. And we have been rewarded with so many magical, unexpected experiences over the years that I really have a hard time planning at all anymore. I think that plans lead to an expectation, especially in this day and age when you can see so much online as you're planning. And so you're building up this picture of like, oh, I'm going to go to Moab and I'm going to go to Arches and I'm going to see Delicate Arch. And like, you lay this whole thing out there and you watch all the reels and you read all the posts and like, you're like, I'm going to do exactly this, this, and this, and it's going to be an amazing trip. And for me, like, life doesn't work like that. Like, of course, you're going to have crazy weather. You're going to have crowds you didn't expect, or maybe you'll get a stomach bug. Like, life is just so unpredictable. And I think if it's possible, and I will say, like, I know a lot of people don't have the luxury of just doing whatever, whenever, but because we live like this full time, we're just more open to seeing what happens. And that way, when you're driving down a road and all of a sudden you you're driving down the highway and you're like, whoa, where does that road go? You can just go and discover things along the way that you never would have predicted. And that has made this life really rewarding for us. And I think some of the greatest things that have happened are things you could never plan in advance.
So I understand you guys just finished up a mainland Mexico trip. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Well, we've decided that after a few years going to Baja, that it is the gateway drug to international overland travel. It's hard to not go to Baja and start wondering where else you can take your four-wheel camper. I had some trepidation about going to mainland Mexico because of the news, and then we just started meeting all kinds of people in Baja that had been to mainland, and they just raved about it. So we decided last year, we were like, okay, we're definitely going to do that. We had been floating the idea of doing the Pan American Highway, but we loved that mainland felt like a nice next step for us in like outside our comfort zone without committing to that gigantic like 2-year-long trip. And so what did we do? We did 5 months, I think 7,000 miles in like 17 states around Mexico. And it was really cool. It was also hard. Like I don't want to sugarcoat it and say that it was just amazing.
It was different than
totally
just going to Baja.
Different than Baja.
Yeah.
Just I don't even know like
Baja is set up for travelers
and overlanders.
Overlanders specifically. Like it I want to say it's overrun, but there's definitely quite a few, like you'll run into the same people going up and down Baja, which is kind of part of it. Like Baja is narrow and skinny. There really is only north and south. There's not a lot of places to get off the main stretch. The opposite was true in mainland. There's not as many travelers to begin with, and the country is just vast. It's massive. And
every day trying to decide where to go was pretty hard.
And it spreads everybody out. Like we didn't really see other travelers. I think maybe 2.
We saw maybe 2 Americans the whole time, and then a small handful of Europeans.
Yeah.
But I do think we're so fortunate to have this amazing country right next door to us that offers a complete shift in culture, and it definitely whet our appetite for more. I think that I know it was 5 months, but it felt just like this like educational
fast.
mission that we just like learned the whole time we were there, and now I want to go back to be able to apply everything we learned and have an even better trip. And now having done that, like Guatemala feels so much closer and more accessible than I ever would have thought. Same with Belize. And so
I think this is how our exploration south will happen. Like
incremental.
It feels a little daunting, and then we do a little more, and then it's not daunting anymore. So we'll go a little farther. Yeah.
I think 5 years ago, if you had asked me like if that's something we would do, I would probably look at you baffled, like I don't know, I don't think so. And now it's like, oh my gosh, it's right there. It's very cool. And with the truck especially, like our truck felt pretty darn big in Mexico. The streets are pretty narrow. There's a lot of hectic traffic, but it still felt ideal. Like
it's manageable.
I don't think you would want anything any larger to drive around Mexico.
I would.
And so we were very grateful once again for the 4-wheel and all the places it could get us.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a really full chapter of life right now. Do you have anything that you're looking forward to or any future life changes?
It's every, I think, 5 to 6 years, we crave like a big
That
change.
seems to be our season, yeah.
And so I sense those questions tumbling around in my brain a lot lately. And for the first time in the last 5.5 years, I've started questioning if I want to live in a house again, which is interesting. Like I never thought about it at all until this year. Just little things like a little bit extra space, or like a bedroom that you can like close the door on seems really novel to me, or like Your own washer and dryer would be so cool. However, when I start thinking to myself all of that in realistic terms, I'm just like, there's no way. Like, I just don't see it. Like, having to choose one place to live, I'm like, that sounds way too hard.
I think it would last like 2 months.
And we'd be itchy again?
Yeah.
And it causes, when I reflect on that question, it causes me to just come back to all the things I love about this lifestyle. And I feel so fortunate to live this way, that we can explore the world the way that we do. Not to mention, I think we've made some of the absolute best friendships with other travelers. And so I don't see us giving that up anytime soon. I think it's just going to be continuing to ask, like, how far do we want to go and where do we want to go next? And the fact that we can ask ourselves that and entertain the idea of driving all the way to South America, which we think about all the time, just feels really cool that that's the life that we get to lead.
Yep.
It's really cool that you keep, reflecting back on how things are suiting you and checking in with yourselves, and, you can make it whatever you want. No reason you can't have the best of both worlds.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, we're so fortunate.
Lastly, tell us where people can follow along your adventures.
Okay, we have a blog, twohappycampers.com. We share a lot on there about our lifestyle, living this way. We're not necessarily people that write like guides and how-tos, but more of just kind of the nitty-gritty, everyday, what it looks like on a daily basis. I've shared several daily post series where I've written like every day for our whole time in Baja or every day for our whole time in mainland. So that gives you a really kind of good insight, I feel like, into what it looks like to live in 40 square feet and travel around. And we turned one of those post series into a book called 82 Days in Baja. It's a tangible book. I love a real life book that you can hold in your hands. It's loaded with photos from Baja and then all those daily stories of what our entire winter was like there 2 years ago. So if you are a dreamer and want to live like this, or you're an armchair traveler that just enjoys seeing this style of life, definitely check that out.
Well, I have personally seen the photos and some of the blogs that you guys have written, and they're just beautiful, and they really do help transport you to Baja and kind of understand all of the travel that you guys are doing. So thank you so much for joining us today. This was awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this was great. We are huge fans of Four Wheel Camper, and we hope people can have as much enjoyment in their camper as we have in ours.